Hi, welcome to Get in the Herd. I'm your host, Alex Bond. This is a podcast about recovery sponsored by the McShin Foundation because it's done inside the McShin Foundation. I'm here with Brandon Blackburn and Courtney Harris. How y'all doing?
Good.
Very well.
Awesome. Courtney, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Courtney and I'm an addict. I've been at the McShin Foundation for almost 3 months now. I don't know, what do you want me to say?
Cool. That's whatever you want to say.
Brandon Blackburn. I've been here just under 30 days and thoroughly enjoying it, Alex.
Well, we're happy to have you guys. What we like doing on some of these midday podcasts is maybe like a participant check-in. So Courtney and Brandon here are both participants here at McShin. I think you've been here for 90 days, right? Mm-hmm. Brandon, you're coming on a month.
3-0.
What I kind of wanted to ask as just an open question is where you've seen yourself progress in those 30 and 90 days versus when you came in. Go for it, Brandon.
Start? Wow. Oh, this is a good one. Alex, I would say personally has seen a progression through me. This first week, I'll tell you what, just about a month ago, coming up on June 13th is when I started here, and it was drastic. The change has been monumental, if I will. My first week, I was such a wreck that like I just was shaking. I didn't want to sit still. I was reckless. I went through a bunch of different things with the McShin, and they got me in the right place. They got me a psychiatrist. They got me counseling. They got me with you. They got me with the counselors. It was just the right timing for me. They helped me through detox. They helped me through the MAT. I mean, like the whole program was so comprehensive and so well put together that I've thrived through it, I think. And right now I'm a new person. I can sit still in a podcast. I don't have to shake like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm vibing. So thanks for asking.
That's awesome. Courtney, how did you feel when you got here specifically?
Oh my God, I was a wreck when I first got here. I came here shortly after my best friend had passed away that used to come here. And so I cried every day when I first got here. I couldn't hold a conversation. I didn't want to be around people. And physically also, like I came here like 100 pounds soaking wet, and I've gained, I look so much better now and I feel so much better. I want to be around people again. And it's really brought me out of my shell once again.
Good. Well, where do you see yourself now then? So do you see, I've always known you as a decently outgoing person. Is that not how it was, or was that kind of for show, or what do you mean by that?
I think that maybe a little bit was for show. I don't remember really acting outgoing when I first got here though, but I tried, and I think that's what McShin helped me with is like it was giving me the opportunity to try to communicate with people and like go out and have fun and things like that instead of just sitting in the house.
Because that isolation is the absolute like death of you.
Yeah.
And that's not even a metaphor. That's a very like literal thing that I've seen people have to deal with and experience.
The heartbreaking part.
So how important is that communication, Brandon? I mean, is it a two-way street? What do you think about that?
Yeah. I've had some of the best just experiences with some of I'll give a shout out to Diana and Moses here, who've been really incredible counselors to me this whole time. I mean, their therapy alone is so instrumental to my recovery. Like I benefit from group sessions a lot, but really there's something about a one-on-one with the right person that just really takes the cake. The group sessions have been really instrumental too, though, because like I get to hear sharing experiences through whatever pathway, NA, AA, Smart Recovery, Celebrate, that has in store. I get to see the experiences of people. I get to see their stories, and I bond with them pretty well, if you will. Sorry.
Jeez.
You said keep it PG, buddy.
That's about as PG as it's going to get. So, Courtney, were you in the program house? Were you at Delrose at any point?
No.
So what's the housing experience like? So do you have to, go out to work? I mean, what prevents you from just sitting in bed all day?
Well, I work, but but when I first got here, I wasn't working, and no, I wasn't in a program house, but I still tried my best to come up here and do groups because that's open for people, not just in the program houses. So I knew that sitting in the house all day was not good for me, and I knew that I probably needed every group that they have to offer here, and I tried to take advantage of that and come up as much as I could.
Yeah, because what I've seen is regardless of what house you're in, whether it's program or step up, is that the community in that house has a tendency to lift each other up more than tear people down. And I mean, I've seen that with a lot of the women in your house helping you out, and whether it's just saying, hey, I'm here when you need to talk, or keep up the good work, or calling people out on their shit. Honestly. What do you think about that accountability piece, Brandon? I know I can be personally kind of hard on you at times.
You know what? I'm going to recall a story where Mr. Bond here, he set up a class right here. And because that's what they do. You run some meetings. You're a nice facilitator. You did almost like NCAA style bracket. And when you say accountability, I just think of accountability versus responsibility you did on the bracket. I'm just like, no. Right. I was like, the spiritual principle for responsibility has got to be more than accountability. I mean, back and forth. So like, it's fun. We keep it lively. We have fun, but like accountability to me, when I think about that, and the reason I put accountability and responsibility a lot of times get misconstrued, if you will, but I think accountability really falters in like, I don't know, stuff like accountability is just like with the law, with the police, with your recovery, with your addiction. Accountability to your addiction is really big, and that's what recovery is kind of the acceptance of that for first step, accepting that you are and you have a void that you need to fill, and then accountability is reaching to the higher power to fill that void. It's kind of what
it's kind of admitting that powerlessness. I'm unmanageable, and it's saying something out there is holding me accountable. And then you actually have people in your lives that do that too at the same time. Yeah, I like the accountability piece, but maybe that I'm a sadist of some sort.
No, I do too. And I don't want to I'm not pushing like religion on it. I'm just like, when I say just higher power, a lot of times people have said yourself, what I'm saying? Like the belief in yourself, and just like fill the void with what's going to make you a better person, every day, and you can have something. It's one day at a time, right? One day at a time. We can look forward to one thing at a time every day, right?
And so some people fill that void with God, the God piece, which is healthy. And then other times it can be filled with, bad habits, whether it be gambling or, maybe overeating or sex or whatever is not substance use. Courtney, how do you fill that void? Is it with that higher power piece, or is it something else that might be healthier? You were talking about before we got on, like hiking something that you enjoy.
Exploring. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that like I fill it with the God piece or the higher power piece yet. Like I'm exploring, but it's not there yet. But yeah, I fill it with like doing positive things. I discovered that I like being outside and I like exploring and like finding, this city is beautiful. I'm not from here. And so I've never.
Oh, really? Sorry.
Nah, I'm from North Carolina. But from not being here and coming to a new city, and it's so beautiful. And I'm like kind of. I'm feeling my time with that a lot lately.
Yeah, and you get to explore it. I mean, it's like a great place to just kind of dance around and figure out who you really are too, without having those substances attached. Did you guys have a problem with losing that identity and using and everything like that?
I was going to chime in. I do too, like hiking and biking, and in a new city too. It's just like it's the best. What I'm saying? You find trails. Just explore down. So yeah, but and sorry, what was your last question?
I was just wondering, like something that it took me a while, even in recovery, was separating the, bartender Alex, life of the party Alex, from who I actually am as a personality and as like my character at the same time. Do you have a hard time with that, or is that easy to distinguish, or is that maybe still part of your identity? Is the kind of like the user in us? Because I think it's one of those reasons that we say, "Hey, I'm Alex. I'm an addict."
Yeah, I don't like to put it's hard AF, if you will, to put any kind of designation to a person, if you will, like a title, like one word or whatever, bartender Alex, whatever. Don't go by profession or attitude or feelings, anything. You know what I'm saying? I do real estate, but I'm not realtor Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Like I would rather just never be defined by addiction or I just want an impact on this world when I'm all said and done. A really positive impact, leave an imprint. You know, I think I had a saying once growing up that was just like I kind of tried to model some other, like probably a Gandhi quote or something. You know what I'm saying? And I said, make the world your dartboard that you can impact rather than the asphalt you walk on.
Huh, I like it.
You like that?
That's cool.
Look at you, man.
Look at you. Pulling out fake Gandhi quotes.
I love it.
Courtney, do you have a problem with maybe some of the judgment that comes in recovery? I do. That's why I asked. I always like kind of hearing other people's perspective on.
I think I used to, but I feel like I am so beat up now from like, you know, using and like that. I don't even care at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what people are, you know, the judgment of being an addict. Because I am one. So I just do what I'm supposed to do, you know, and I do what I need to at this point. And if I allow people's judgment to like affect me, then it could lead me back out.
So what are some of those things that you focus on, since you have all that extra time to not worry about what other people think? What do you spend it
I
doing?
worry about what people think.
Okay.
No.
Don't get it misconstrued.
Yeah. That is something I'm working on, but I definitely do. But I know how to handle it better than like, let's say like a year ago, you know?
Sure. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. What was the question?
So what those things that you focus on to better yourself in recovery instead of worrying about judgments and stuff like that?
I worry about my intentions, you know. I worry about doing step work and like calling my sponsor, my responsibilities at my house. Like right now, other than my job, my focus is on this, you know, and the positives.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
And we were talking, Brandon, about that focus, that putting recovery first type of thing. That's a hard piece that I deal with, honestly, is like, you know, putting recovery above everything else. I can, you know, walk the walk, but don't always talk the talk, and vice versa. So how is it, you know, having to make that complete redirection and pretty much be told, or not told, but decide for yourself, I have to change my entire life.
Oh my gosh.
Especially within the last, since you're still like a newcomer.
Discipline, yeah.
Okay.
Just all about discipline. I mean, like I came in here, I'm not the most, stay strong, you too, Ashley. I'm not the most disciplined person out there, but I came in this program wanting to make a change. So, you know, it takes discipline to make a change. You know, like the rules are here for a reason. I mean, like I don't want to impound on that, but I mean, they're there. The reason if you don't have a job, you come to a group, or you don't just waste your day away, is what is wasting your day away? What are you thinking? What are your feelings going towards a lot of times? Drugs. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to use, you know? And if you stay occupied, if you discipline yourself on a daily basis, you don't have that temptation as much, right?
Yeah, you don't have that time to, you know, escape in those glorified war stories and fantasies because you're too busy working on the task at hand.
Yeah.
Is how I say it personally. What do you do for work, Courtney?
I work in dialysis. I'm a dialysis technician.
That is so awesome.
So
Thank
cool.
you.
See, Brandon and I can't go back to our jobs at the service industry. so we've had to find new avenues. Life. Did you do that before you came in? So that is quite fortunate. Brandon, now you work as a realtor, which is, but right before you came into recovery, something that you did, which is, you know,
I've been doing it for 4 years as a shout out, you know. But
I'm just saying, I'm just saying that there are certain careers and places and things and people that we can't go back to because we're making these foundational changes in our life. What are some of those things, and do they scare you? Like those people that they talk about. Have you had to alienate some people, Courtney?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
How do you do that? Do you do that just like by completely cutting them off? Or?
Yeah. Because if I leave room to if I don't just cut them off, and if I talk to them sometime, like eventually, like that saying, you keep going to the barbershop, you'll eventually get your hair cut. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm a true believer now of that because of mistakes I've made in the past.
Brandon, what about you, man? Because y'all are both from out of town or even out of state. So I imagine maybe that anxiety of going back home. How do we deal with that?
It's about to happen for me. So I'm just I'm keeping it brief first of all, you know that. So just to eliminate some anything, like that. But I mean, at the same time, like I'm a little different. I don't need to cut off as many people to really benefit from that. Just the select few. So I'm not really losing out too much in that regard. And I like that a lot,
Yeah. I mean, that
really just cut out the plug. You good?
Well, yeah. Well, I would say that any person that leads up to it at the same time, there are plenty of, I have not deleted contacts out of my phone since I was probably I don't know, I probably got this when I was in like 9th grade.
Oh, really?
And cutting those, like actually conscientiously cutting those people off before they can hit you up or call you or anything like that.
Ooh, I would love to see your breakup text.
Who? Mine?
Yeah, to your friends. I'm sorry, this isn't working anymore.
Oh, no. I do it over face like an adult.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Face to face like an adult.
You go meet up and then say, I'm sorry, you're too much of a degenerate for me to talk to anymore.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly how I do it.
Five,
I say, let's meet up and then say you're a terrible human. No, not at all. Not in the slightest. Todd's over here giggling. So what else are we doing? So 90 days, 30 days. What sort of program do you work? Courtney.
NA?
Same.
Is that what you're asking?
Okay. Yeah. 12-step fellowship.
NA. Yeah.
That's just what I was,
thanks, Benjamin Kramer.
What I was asking, because, one thing that I hear in both of y'all that, is a part of the program, maybe not specifically 12-step, but is that hiking, health and wellness, mindfulness, piece. What else is that mindfulness? We were talking about that, Brandon. What does that? What does that mean for you?
Quote again?
Excuse
me while I whip this out. I put it on a napkin too. Check this out.
Brandon's just covered in quotes today.
I said the more mindful you are, the more accepting you are to receive wisdom from a higher power. What do you think about mindfulness?
I think it's beautiful. I can't believe you came up with that.
I don't know. I'm quotable today.
You are.
Mindfulness is very important in my life. At first, most people see me like with the energy or whatever, blah, off the walls, whatever. They think that man probably can't sit still enough to meditate, but I can. I really can. But mindfulness is a lot more than just meditation. What I mean is being so much in the moment, like right here in this podcast, that like and taking everything in. Because this is a new experience to me, and I'm having a blast, by the way. And thank you for having me on. But thank you. So mindfulness means the whole surrounding, the headphones, the speakers, Courtney, Alex, Todd, everything right here, and knowing what's going on and just feeling in that moment. That self-awareness is so powerful because it's one day at a time, but it's also like 1 nanosecond at a time. You know what I'm saying? That we make decisions, that where are you going to turn your hands? Are you nervous right here in the podcast? What you're looking at, what your eyes are, like what Courtney's doing.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Anyways, but I love mindfulness because of that reason alone. So yes.
Yeah, I always enjoyed how some people are observant. I like the idea of observancy, knowing your surroundings. And then I came into recovery and found out that the word for that is mindfulness. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool that things that I like can already translate in recovery.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mindfulness includes so much more than just observance to me. You know what I'm saying? That's just a part of it, just observing right here. But it's just like, I think there's like the physical world and then the metaphysical world, if you will. And I don't want to get, this isn't a podcast on like science right here.
Let's get psychonaut.
No, but I mean, it's vibes, it's energies that we feel, it's emotions. Like when you're sharing during NA, you know what I'm saying? And you feel somebody's story, and you feel their struggle, and you feel their emotions or whatever. And then let's say they just get a little emotional themselves, a little tear from the eye, and then you feel that and you're empathetic with them, and then you start crying. There's nothing physical about that. That's metaphysical. That's literally like emotions and energies like causing you to feel their struggle, feel their pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that about the program. It's the 12 step is just amazing to hear stories of what you've been through and just vibing with people,
Mm-hmm. And I think that mindfulness, being in the present, is very key too, because there are plenty of resentments that keep me in the past. But how do we focus on staying in the present? Because there's that future piece which keeps me fearful, and then the past that keeps me resentful. How do you kind of try to stay in the present, Courtney?
I don't know how to answer that right now. That's something that I'm working on. So
that's an honest answer.
Yeah.
That's a good answer, because for me personally, it's just a lot of I can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
Faith a little bit. I think that mindfulness, being in the present, but also maybe not worrying too much. The anxiety. Do you have any anxieties? Like this is a kind of anxious inducing thing, even for me, who's done it a few times now.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's fun, but
anxiety is
how do you cope
energy.
with those anxieties without using? What do you do instead?
You got to get it out. Anxiety is unused energy. You got to get it out. Go for a run, go for a bike ride, go for a hike. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do that and you have to sit still or whatever, shake your leg. You know what I'm saying? We all have, literally, you should see the amount of people I see shaking their legs like in an NA meeting. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes I get anxieties with a large group of people. You know what I'm saying? Like 60, 70, 80 people have been coming to our NA meetings, Thursday, Friday, I'm no joke, I'm not just saying that from nowhere. I have a good count of people, and that's really, and so when that big group of people comes, I usually make it through the first part or whatever, but I got a lot of anxiety right there. So I literally stand up and I take a walk around the group, and I don't recommend that to everybody. A lot of people are just socially conscious as it is right there, and that'll embarrass them anyways, but I need to get up and walk. And that's an appropriate coping mechanism. I try to do it at a time where I'm not somebody's in the middle of sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I try to respect who's sharing, but that kind of anxiety happens to me on a daily basis with large groups, and I bet there's a lot of people out there that can identify with that too.
Todd, I can't read that question. It's so small. All right. Now I can barely read it anyway.
I don't want to last a few days ago to make you feel that.
It says,
please delete.
Yeah, if it's not an appropriate question, please let me know.
Can I please answer first?
A few days ago.
All right. So when marijuana laws changed a few days ago, does it make you feel differently about your commitment to or challenge? Maybe the same difference as alcohol abuse.
You want to go first?
Well, me personally, I have marijuana charges. It makes me think, wow, I could have had my license that whole time instead of, other people are in jail because of that sort of stuff. But, at the same time, it makes me think more positively about it. Maybe it can be used as a safe coping, MAT.
Yep.
If smoking weed, smoking cannabis makes you not shoot dope or smoke crack or do meth, more power to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is for individual people to determine in their program, not me.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Cannabis in your program is you have to administer the rules of the program, obviously. But progressive, this is the kind of program that I think is progressive. You know what I'm saying? I have progressive thoughts towards marijuana in general. So there's a disparity, first of all. One of the biggest things about marijuana changes is disparity in the racial division that actually happens with that too. So there's always been that over time. So working progressively towards that will be an ideal thing as well. But also in my life personally, I've had experience with this, plenty in my life. I won't go back to war stories, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But me between weed was never a war story anyways. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any experiences where I did the crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? I never ended up the worst I ever did is ate too much food. You know what I'm saying? But but I don't want to harp on it too long, but yeah, if it's got to be part of the program, and you don't want that to be a distraction though, because if you're not really using it medicinally and actually just like you're just using to get high, you're not going to focus on your recovery though. You know what I'm saying? It needs a medicinal purpose in your life, but if it helps you, obviously not do more things, but what is the purpose of it? Because it can definitely be abused. I'm not going to ever say.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of like the root question was, what's the capability of it being abused? Is that something like, what do you think, Courtney? Do you think it can still be, misused?
I personally do. Like I know from me personally, like I won't be smoking weed. I act like when I smoke crack, like I'll be peeping out windows and stuff. Oh my God. So like I personally won't be smoking weed. But I think like what you said, if it helps someone to not shoot dope or smoke crack or whatever, like then do it, But I think your intentions are what's important and how you're using it.
Intentions, that's a great word for it, because, in my opinion, it is way less harmful than booze.
Right. And
that has been the backbone of American economy practically since its inception.
Yeah.
And,
thanks, Nancy, for answering the question too, by the way.
Yeah, it was a great question. Yeah. And
please keep those questions coming.
And again, I just think that if it helps you, more power to you.
Sorry. And
that is for you to determine. Of course, different addicts are going to use it and abuse it, because whether it's substances or not, I'll use and abuse stuff anyway.
Right.
So that's just our natural inclination to use stuff for instant gratification to make us feel less lonely.
Ooh, hit the spot, hit the heart, Alex. Yeah, it is though.
Yeah, right. I mean, whether it's weed or not, but I think weed for certain people.
It is
probably myself included. I'm not exactly gonna. The jury's still out. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna go get a medical card tomorrow, but it could help.
Still a mood altering substance.
Exactly.
Like if you go get high and then you want to go to an AA meeting or something, I mean, like, how much are you gonna pay attention? Are you gonna think about munchies the whole time?
Yeah. No, and that's why the actual like CBD makes more sense than just smoking THC,
small
riddled
percentage
cannabis.
THC, maybe.
Yeah. Do you guys
like a calming effect? And that's what medicine's all about. Is about dosage. It's about getting it right. You know what I'm saying? And so medical cards literally have existed in Virginia for 2 years, actually.
Really?
2019 and 2020. Yep.
So what's the difference now?
The difference now is decriminalized. So you're gonna up to an ounce and get charged $25.
Well, I thought that they legalized the medicinal aspect too. Like now they can be dispensaries or something like that.
No, that was 2019.
Well, that's how Pennsylvania is. Pennsylvania, where I'm from up there, they have dispensaries now. Mm-hmm. If you have a medical card, you obviously have to go to a doctor. This is not just you walk in, you flop down $50 and you walk out with a bail.
Yeah.
So it's not like that. But I mean, obviously there's got to be rules and regulations, which I think was the whole thought process behind the legalization, and then taking it into the medical route. But yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about Virginia as far as their laws with it, but I know
because I thought I read that it was
dispensaries.
Oh yeah,
so they're already there. There's 5, I believe, that got the okay in Virginia that are good to go. And so once and then the laws change right there, but like once the structure is more in place, it's going to be. And Richmond's one of the cities, obviously, one of the biggest cities.
So do you think it would create an avenue for more people to respect MAT?
Yes.
In general,
yes.
Or do you think that more people it could do the exact opposite effect and say, oh, you're not using it for its proper usage? I mean, do you guys use MAT? No.
I've been on a taper since I've been here. So yes.
What are your thoughts on it? In general, you can be completely honest.
It can be harmful. It can be helpful. It's like it's up to you. It's up to your program.
Okay.
Yeah. I was on maintenance for almost 2 years, and the way I feel about it is like I was a productive member of society on it. I held a job. I didn't shoot dope. I did the best. I think I did pretty well, but I was on it for 2 years and then just got off of it. So I went right back to using. I personally think that like it could save people's lives, and harm reduction is huge, I think. Yeah. But like eventually, like there's, there's something that should be done.
Well, and like for me, my background is all alcohol, so there is no MAT for that except for non-alcoholic beer.
Right.
So
They say the Vivitrol.
and my thing was, well, yeah, I mean, there's Vivitrol, but I'm just, for my mindset of where I was like, it's either I'm drinking
or not,
or I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
So really, what's the point of doing like,
MAT?
Well, and like I said,
and abuse.
Oh yeah, I mean, but for me, I'm just talking about for me personally.
Sure.
My mindset is wired like I it's not just have one beer responsibly. It's off to the races with that when I do that one beer. So I'm like I don't for me my comprehension is more like, okay, well, what's the point if I'm not getting hammered, then really what's the freaking
what's
point?
The in between?
So
and I booze because of the liquid courage to deal with the I never realized that I had anxiety until I had a panic attack one day, and I was like, I'm dying. What's going on? Like. Honestly, like I'd never experienced it, and I went to the hospital, and they were like, "You're completely fine. You're just having a panic attack." And I was like, "That's not me. That's not who I am." And it like completely changed my perspective on anxiety and dealing with it. And I think that I was also boozing because of that. And maybe cannabis can be the gateway to that almost like only successful MAT for alcohol.
That's true.
And I think
really
it goes
true.
back to that,
Damn, I didn't think about that.
The deficiencies part.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, for me, I was the same way. Well, I can't do this unless I'm drinking. I can't do that unless I'm drinking.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, realistically, I didn't know who my identity was as a person.
Right.
So if I have to rely on a substance to get my identity, then I really don't know who the hell I am to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously the more I go into regular wired programming of how our brains were designed without the substance, then obviously I'm really finding who I am. So yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from with the, I need to do this, but I think that's where the rewiring from using the substance tells you with addiction that you've got to do this.
Yeah, because at one point I'm not doing it because I feel anxious. I'm doing it because it's supposed to be what I do.
Right.
Like
it's a routine.
Yeah, I use. Mm-hmm. That's it. Whether it's because I'm in a good mood, I'm in a bad mood, I just got a job, I just lost a job. I mean, it's everything in between. Was that kind of like how y'all used?
Well, I believe that it comes to a point where it's like
not fun anymore.
Well, yeah, it's not fun anymore, but like you don't it's not a choice anymore.
Oh yeah, like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, it's just that you just do it because that's who you are and what you do.
Yeah,
it's just so ingrained into you. Were you kind of the same way, Brandon, or
a little different? I believed I could use successfully, if you will, life and balance. I still wrestle with that part of the brain. Life and balance is because there's properties of what I like that I believe actually could be part of medicine in the future. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird thought process to it. So I was looking for something to cope with my deficiencies, kind of like ADD style. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I was looking for drugs to do that. And it was semi-helpful in a calming aspect. I'm very different physiology, like uppers, stimulants or whatever, a lot of times have more of a calming effect on me. Very different from a lot of people. It's very true. Even sugar. Like I could drink a Mountain Dew and I'm a lot of times more calm.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot of drugs that are uppers out there. You know what I'm saying? So I try to use that as a substitute. That's not MAT at all. That's not like medicine. You know what I'm saying? It's not regulated. It's not there. But I mean, like there are replications of it in the medicinal world. You see what I'm saying? Like cocaine, Adderall is kind of like regulated cocaine, right? You know what I'm saying?
I think when you go down this road, though, it's a very slippery slope.
It is. Super.
Yeah. So that's the problem with that.
It's a bad mindset, and that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because that's very easily justifiable. Well, this is going to justify this because it's not as bad as that. Yes. And so it's a very slippery slope.
Yeah, but when we're dealing with mental health at the same time as substance use disorder, it can be drug seeking behavior. It can also be, how do I medicate myself correctly? Right. So again, slippery slope. Absolutely. And then there's that blurry line in the middle. Courtney, do you deal with any other like mental health?
Yeah. I have bipolar disorder.
Okay.
And I know like that's a self-medicating is a big one for me because whenever I would try to get clean, I would take my medicine. I take my bipolar meds like I'm supposed to, and then I start feeling better. It's like, oh, I don't need these anymore because I'm fixed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen the pattern over the years that when I do that and I stop taking my medicine, like I relapse after that, you know, because I start self-medicating, and it might not be with drugs at first, but it eventually gets to that. I've learned, like I said, through my patterns that my mental health is huge when it comes to my recovery.
So again, I would imagine it's about that balance, but how do you deal with both at the same time? Do you try to focus on them concurrently? Do you try to focus on whatever is more important at the moment? Like how do we deal with that?
It's so messy. So
it is. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's not an easy question,
Yeah,
but y'all are the professionals here.
That's what you say.
Right. I think I try to do both. I've learned also that like taking my medicine or doing therapy or something like that along with working on my recovery. It seems like when I work on my recovery, things seem to get better all around, you know. But I still have to like keep up with some of it.
So it sounds like you put recovery first and then maintain the mental health side of things.
Yeah, that's what personally for me.
What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, it's what do they call it? Co-occurring?
Yes.
Exactly. You have to tackle both at the same time. Keep it simple.
Yeah. So they're both equally vastly important.
Oh yeah, your addiction and they're both diseases.
Mm-hmm.
And that both are, what is it? In the DSM, you know what I'm saying? DSM-5, baby. Yeah. We learned some stuff here.
Diseases and disorders.
That's right. Addiction is right there with bipolar. So boom. Like both should be treated equally, You take medication for both. You take, you do coping mechanisms for both. We're mindful about both. Both need to be tackled the exact same way. And I'm the same way. I'm a bipolar type 2 person. So that's why I have so much energy. I'm manic all the time. I don't. But fortunate for me, my lows are so low, but like it's happened so infrequently. Right. And that's the difference. Is my low, I don't need to address. I need to address my high all the time.
Right.
And being that high is not fun all the time. It's not. Believe me, it's a wreck. I'm a freak. What? You're looking
I'm
tell me.
I can't read.
Is it fun being this?
I love dealing with you. You're still Brandon to me, man. That's the thing is I don't think enough people understand that, sure, it's a disorder and a disease, but that doesn't mean that you're bad people or that you're broken or fixed or me too. I mean, like just because I have a disease doesn't mean that I'm broken. Like I'm still a passionate, compassionate, loving person. Sometimes we just get.
I don't think broken is a bad word either. I think we're all broken individuals, though. Addiction is brokenness. It's vulnerability. Little Miss, what's her name? Vulnerability girl.
What?
The TED Talks person.
Brene Brown.
Yeah. I mean, that's what brokenness is vulnerability.
I think that I play the role of being broken when I'm using to continue using, but I don't think that like in recovery that I am broken.
We're all broken, bro.
So I think so I guess what correct me if I'm wrong, Courtney. It's kind of like a rationalization of I can use because I'm broken and this will fix me.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you think kind of the opposite. It's almost in recovery is assessing that brokenness as vulnerability is how you kind of overcome that powerlessness. Again, different programs for different people.
Different
so I
strokes
really
for
enjoyed
different folks. Yeah.
talking about these perspectives. Was that correct?
Yeah. I mean, I can find a nice middle ground with you,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing it.
Oh, anytime. Wait. Didn't you want me to go Australian for this podcast?
No, I don't want any of that.
None of this.
If you tell that joke on this podcast, I'll lose it.
No.
So dealing with that vulnerability can be scary.
Yes.
How do you do it? Do you just do it? Do you talk with people about it? What's kind of your process, Courtney?
Yeah, I'm trying to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and vulnerability is very uncomfortable for me. I'm sure everyone else, but and that's something I'm still struggling with. But I have a few people in my life that I don't mind being vulnerable with, and I think that like finding those people and them helping you through it, that's what helps me. But it's very uncomfortable. Like just asking these questions to me right now makes me feel vulnerable, and I'm uncomfortable.
And that's going to be everywhere for everybody to see. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, viral. Shout out to Todd.
Brandon, you are, in my opinion, quite the opposite. I think you're okay with being, an open book, a little less boundaries, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. What do you have to say about dealing with that vulnerability?
Alex and I just had a session in peer recovery, counseling, and he likes to set up cards. So, we did this pyramid, if I will, like on the, so you can see it on the table, the cards at the top, and mine was right here. And yes, artistic was perform and dance and biking and stuff like that. Like artistic things, not biking.
Interests, things that you like to do.
And the top of mine was perform, honestly. So I'm just trying to be self-admittance, self-aware, if you will. I mean, what was it? Artistic side and enterprising. Or,
enterprising. And social, because you're a very social person. And I think you have a lot of things inside of you that want to help people.
It needs to get out.
Like honestly though.
Yes.
And sometimes that comes off as big.
Yeah, it comes across as narcissistic, I'm sure, annoying, or just trying to like a know-it-all philosophy. I know that, but at the same time, that's why I try to put an entertaining approach to it. If I try to teach through humor, then it always will come across a little bit better than just try to like, hey, I know it all, and like this is my advice. I have wisdom. Check it out. Here we go. Because I'm 33. I do have some wisdom in my life. I actually do think a lot more than a lot of 33-year-olds out there. But
I believe that.
Yeah. But at the same time, I can always learn from others. There's always something you can take away from others. If you believe that, you are narcissistic, and I don't like to say fool much, but yeah, I think it's kind of foolish, if you will, if you think that like you can't learn from others.
The quote I got for you is from Socrates. The one thing I know is that I know nothing.
Very nice.
I'll drop one too.
Okay.
If you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room.
Ooh. Damn.
This podcast was sponsored by Play-Doh.
Yeah. Pinterest.
Oh, Pinterest.
By Pinterest, right? On the opposite side of this quote, we go the Beatles say, everything that has been sung has been sung. You know what I'm saying? Everything that has been written, you know what I'm saying? But all you need is love, So there is a lot.
Dude, that actually reminds me. Do you guys have to stay away from certain like pop culture, like movies and music, and
like
maybe
Breaking
like
Bad or
something that might be triggering?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't watch Drugs Inc. or something like that, but like movies, that doesn't bother me.
Nah, I find it fascinating.
That's suspension of disbelief.
I love Drugs
Right.
Inc. No, for real. Like, I mean, just like knowing is half the battle, I think. G.I. Joe.
Well, and kind of the other side of it that I see is more of like a it's not a watching, that makes me want to do. It's actually when I'm listening to music, it reminds me of like, oh, this was the song that I was using to, or it brings up these emotions that I'm afraid of and make me feel vulnerable. And do you guys have that same effect with certain maybe music or even like smells and senses and
I like
things
music
like that?
videos a lot, and just music in general, all genres I listen to. And so I would say rather than it putting the song more goes with probably like girl experiences in my life rather than drug experiences.
Okay.
So I think about, but sometimes that comes with hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like a significant other in the past, or an ex, and a song you remember, or a song you're with your current person, and that hurt comes out, or missing them and not being able to be around them right now in a program like this, that could come out and that could potentially lead to a using situation. Correct? You know what I'm saying? But it's not.
So it's more of that domino effect.
Yeah, it's a domino. It's an indirect. That to a relationship to the drug usage, not straight to the drug usage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think songs affect me when it comes to like or anything like that when it comes to drug usage. But I know like I'm like the opposite. I will listen to songs that remind me or like make me feel an emotion because I've been numb for so long and like I've cried so much in these 3 months. And some of that was like I like induced on myself, you know, but like I'm okay with that. Like I'm okay with having emotions. It's foreign to me right now, you know, but I've been numb for so long that I do like sit there and like listen to stuff that brings out emotions in me because I don't want to feel like a psychopath.
Yeah, it's kind of like empowering to look at those emotions in the face and say, oh, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be sad and all those different things. I think I was working at helping this dude make a studio, and I heard this song and it brought tears to my eyes. So I listened to it like 4 times in a row. And then by the 4th time, I was just like, it's so beautiful. It's so sad.
Exactly.
I get pinpointed on certain songs to just repeat.
But is that because of our addictive nature of almost like, oh, this feeling, I want to continue to chase this feeling, whatever it is.
Oh, I don't know.
Or is it that, you know,
yes,
I haven't had these feelings, so I like kind of facing them, or is it like, all right, now
it has helped with I just realized it has helped with my addiction tenfold actually, because down there putting on some music and getting that goosebumps feeling, you know, and just like vibing with it and dancing with it sometimes is just so powerful. That has not caused me to use, that has restrained me from using.
That's completely valid. Yeah. And I can totally agree. Is you know, we do groups here. We'll actually do like karaoke in about 45 minutes because it kind of gets people out of their element. It gets people uncomfortable.
It gets the people going.
It gets people to be
it's provocative.
It gets people to be uncomfortable and vulnerable and do all these things that might not be in their comfort zone, but also, you know, putting forth that sort of, you know,
I love it.
Goosebumps walk away type stuff.
Yes, exactly. Do you like to dance, Courtney?
I love to dance.
Yeah. All right.
Are you doing karaoke?
It's just
I've been coming up here the last couple weeks trying to do karaoke, but they've been canceling it.
We did art instead. You came 2 weeks ago and we did tie-dye shirts, and that's why I got this guy right here.
Sponsored by Tracy Novak.
Tracy, oh my God. Yeah. Yes. Anyways, shout out to Tracy.
That's how I got this, by the way. But we got karaoke tonight, and that's part of McShin. Isn't that nice? You know, it's nice. I mean,
it's not always sitting in a group talking about our feelings. Sometimes it's just like, you know, honest, good fun and recovery. Like, did you guys have
it needs to be diversified. It has to be. I mean, like, nobody can just do, you know, NAA groups all day. I mean, like, and that's powerful about McShin is like they diversify, you know. As a matter of fact, we're going to do a service project with my house this weekend, and we're going to reward ourselves with a beach trip. I mean, how awesome is that?
What's the project?
We're going to do a flower bed in front of our house so that future people that move into the house.
That's so nice.
Isn't that it's so special, guys? Oh my God. Anyways,
it is. It's that service work that you know, I think planting something, especially like a tree, is one of the coolest things because you're putting something out there into the universe that you won't even get to experience. You're like giving oxygen to people and your grandkids, even though that like you won't experience it. It's that ultimate pay it forward. So I guess the last question I wanted to ask, shout out to Nathan Mitchell. This is usually his last question.
Sure.
What did you have something to say, Courtney?
Yeah, I just want to say shout out to Chauncey.
What's up, Chauncey?
What's Nathan's last question?
Nathan likes to ask, Brandon, what are you grateful for today?
Ooh, I like this question. Ooh. I'm grateful for you, Alex.
Oh,
really? Yeah. He's an integral part, and like even me like going home might actually be like beneficial for this. So and you keep me accountable. So it's cool. I like to kick his ass in ping pong too. So shots fired.
You're gonna make me say on air that when we played 7 games last, I won 5 of them.
It was like 4-3, you know, and we played 6 and it was 4-2. So I got to come back a little bit.
We're taking
but
bets.
I was the momentum was building. I won the last 2 games, 2-0 from the last whatever call. So
I'm grateful for you too, buddy.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
Courtney, what are you grateful for?
Man, I'm grateful for so much today. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for McShin, all the people in my life here and all the people that are from back home that, that still keep in touch with me.
I'm grateful that Chauncey says, hey.
I'm grateful for Chauncey, the best sponsor ever.
Hey. This is good. Can we do this next week? This was fun.
This is the intermission. We're about to go on for another hour.
All right.
Todd, what are you grateful for, buddy?
Grateful for the opportunity to, be able to do these every day, because this has been a vital part. And just in the COVID era right now, like, these have been pretty instrumental to help get messages of hope out to those guys, and, I'll see in the comments, I may feel like at certain points, like certain shows are going sideways, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'll see something that's actually benefiting somebody. And it shows me sometimes my thought process is not the only way. So it just keeps me balanced. So I'm always on my toes over here. And I don't know, I'm just really grateful. We really made a lot of good progress with this whole project at the beginning. Because I didn't know
more than I expected.
I didn't know how the hell it was going to go. I didn't know if it was going to go. And really, it's been vital. So it's been vital, and it's vital in my own recovery every day.
Well, we thank you too.
So
yes, thank you.
Yeah,
awesome. Well, I'm grateful for Brandon, Courtney, for being here. I really appreciate you guys.
And being on time.
Todd, you're crushing it. You were on time. I did not expect it. I'm not even going to lie.
Crazy about time. I will never not be on time.
Ooh, punctuality.
Yes.
I'm exactly the same way, Courtney. My mom made a point. It was on Terry time growing up, so I made it a point that Brandon time is going to be on time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
I used to be late for everything, so now I make sure that I'm on time or early for everything.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, we did school superlatives, and I won most likely to show up late because I was late every single day of senior year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just who I am.
Special.
I beat to my own drum, whatever. I danced to my own drum beat. I don't know.
Wow. But
so yeah, I'm grateful for the podcast. I'm grateful to my friends and my family, especially. Every time I do one of these, people are like, "Hey, I watched that thing." I'm like, "What?" That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That people are just kind of randomly, getting in and enjoying it, and getting on. Courtney just walked up to me yesterday and was like, "Hey, can I be on the podcast?" And I was amped. It's so excited.
Super amped, right?
And then also make sure you plug tonight too.
Oh yeah, we've got I think we've got Jeff Proctor, Jason Childry, and Terry Duffy on tonight at 9:00.
Oh,
Getting the herd after hours. So that'll be a little, this is a live show. Don't get me wrong, but I think that we might go to 11 tonight.
Nice.
So definitely tune into that and vote for us on the Richmond Times Dispatch website for the Best of 2020 podcast series. You can vote now daily until July 16th.
Best of podcast.
19th. Yeah. So you got that extra 3 days. Thanks again, guys, for coming on.
It's been a pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having
Todd, always crushing it. Thank you, buddy. And, have a great rest of your day, everyone.
One day at a time.
Bye.
Welcome to Get in the Herd. I'm your host, Alex Bond. Get in the Herd is a recovery podcast from the McShin Foundation. We urge you to vote in the Richmond Times Dispatch Best of 2020 series. You can vote now, daily, until July 19th. This podcast is for those with substance use disorder as well as their friends and family. And it's really made a foundational impact on my life as well as others. And we just urge you to try to help out. Thanks.